It's September 2019, and me and my friends have just received information that we've got an inset day. A day off school, for those of you who don't know what that is. But this wasn't no regular inset day. You see, a couple months prior, roughly 1 month prior really, we'd only just started secondary school, which is the big step up, right? You go from this babyish school, you're just on your SATs, now you're gonna work up towards your GCSEs in England. This is the big time, scary time. And although I fucked it up, to be blunt and honest, socially, I fucked it up. I failed. Not academically, just socially. I still had a few good friends who I could trust a lot and resonate with from primary school. And therefore, we planned to do something on this inset day. Very simply, we just went round my friend's house. I'm going to call my friend Alistair for this one time, right? Just random names. I want to keep them relatively anonymous. I don't know if they want to be on there. And you see, we met up in the town centre. And we walked all the way down to Alistair's house. And Alistair's house is on the other side of the town. Imagine we're on the west, his is on the east. Most of them live around there, I just had to walk a little bit further, which is fine. And we got to his house at, let's say, 10:30. I don't remember really what we did in the morning, but come to nearly midday, me and my friend Poohead, let's just call him for the banter, started wrestling. Why did we start wrestling? I don't know. It was something inside of our DNA and genes that just wanted to start fighting. As 11-year-olds, 12-year-old kids, we just had that anger, had that testosterone surge, I'm sure, which is really random. But it wasn't the only time in the day that this happened. You see, later on in the afternoon, maybe like 3 or 4 o'clock, we all just went outside and started fighting. With what? Maybe lightsabers, maybe sticks, something, just start swinging at each other. Take a bit of pain, doesn't matter. Now, to a lot of you kids born in this generation, you'll be like, why did you do that? You know, a lot of Gen Alpha kids, you won't understand fully, but that's okay. I'll explain in the end of the video, right? There was also another instance of this, you see. March 2022. I got a call from my friend saying, yo, come over, G, probably something like that. I don't remember. And so, therefore I walked across the town, just a little bit, right? It's a little bit closer to this one. Maybe south. I walked like west or south or whatever it is, to my friend's house, like 5 or 10 minutes. And this time it was different, because he wasn't in the town centre. He wasn't at his house. He wasn't building bike trails or anything. My friend, let's just call him Jed. And Jed was in a garage with his brother and one of my other friends. Doing what? Garage boxing, my friend. The first introduction, episode 1, season 1, episode 1 of garage boxing. Why? For fun. Literally for fun and entertainment. Fuck the bikes, it's raining. Going inside's boring. Let's do some garage boxing. Best of all, the scenario was crap. Concrete floor, walls either side, like brick walls, right? So if you hit your head on them, bosh, you're gone. And a tyre in the corner, which was in the way. And maybe a boxing bag that was hanging up via some chains or something. And we just started garage boxing. When I say we, I mean I only had one, so it doesn't really count. But essentially they started garage boxing. And the best case scenario was we had one pair of gloves. We didn't even have 2 pairs of gloves, which means somebody was fighting bare knuckle and the other person was fighting with like 10-ounce gloves on, which was ridiculous. But we just kept fighting. Not in a way like we wanted to hurt each other, but in a way like we wanted to win in a tactical way. We were doing no headshots, of course, we didn't have gum shield or anything. We just knew it's not a good idea to do headshots. We did body shots only, and we just started fighting each other. We all had different techniques, strategies and such. One of them was going for ding-dong shots, if you know what that is. One of them was going for like some back shots, like this. And my approach was literally just uppercut. So we all had different weird approaches, right? That just instinctively made sense in the moment. And that word instinctively, that actually works really well in this scenario. Because something weird happened in all 3 of these instances. You see, like I said, we didn't want to hurt each other. We just wanted to win. At all cost. Because there is nothing worse as these young kids fueled with testosterone, ambition, and genuine passion inside of our hearts than losing. There is nothing worse than that. Therefore, we wanted to win. We didn't want to knock each other out. We didn't want to suffocate each other and make them pass out or anything. We were just doing it for fun. And you know, there's so many other times in my life where I've just done it for fun. Flick out a jab, something, just to piss people off, right? Boom. Boom towards the head. I get smacked around the back of the head as a kid or something. You know, when I was naughty as a kid, your parents probably got smacked. I got smacked because I was in that generation. But something weird's happened with Gen Alpha. They don't have that same ambition. They don't have that same drive and that same passion to win. They don't think anything's about competition. They sort of just don't care. And I don't think it's a bad thing that they don't want to go out and get in a fight day after day after day, because they're lippy little shits. They get in fights literally every single day. So it's probably best that they're passive towards each other, because now they're aggressive with their mouths. But let me tell you a secret. Back 30 years ago, your parents perhaps, my parents certainly, used to have altercations very often. Because instead of speaking it out, they fought it out. And this is something instinctive within humans that's literally ran inside of our genes, our DNA, for hundreds, if not thousands of centuries. Yes, thousands of centuries. That's a long ass time. I don't need to tell you that twice. That is a very, very lengthy amount of time, a very lengthy period where humans have fought. We fought wars. We still fight wars. And we have this desire inside of us to win when we fight the war. We're not just going out to war to do nothing. We're not just going out to the park to play football to do nothing. We're going out to win. Why else would we go out, Why wouldn't we try our hardest to win? This whole idea of cope nowadays, which is, it doesn't matter if you win or lose, as long as you try your best, is bullshit. That's not natural. If you don't have that natural drive to genuinely win, you won't return back to your business when it fails. And yes, that's an extreme example, but this is a great example. My YouTube channel. Look at the numbers below this video, brother. You're still watching. That's rare for the people who view my channel. The numbers below aren't big, but they might be soon. And the reason they will be soon. The reason they will be is because I keep fighting for it and I genuinely want to win. I don't just show up every day and be like, it doesn't matter as long as I show up and do my best. If I did my best, I would have surpassed 1 million, right? It wouldn't be possible. And if I don't do my best, maybe I'll only get to 500. And that's the end of the roads. That's the end of the story. Don't just do stuff. Do stuff with a purpose. The main takeaway. Do stuff with a purpose. Perhaps the purpose isn't to hunt and kill your peers, but it's to beat them, to show them your superiority inside of that social standpoint. And for those of you who are going to sit there and say, that's just toxic masculinity. No, it's not. Shut the fuck up. Shut up. That's some liberal brainwashing BS. That is nothing to do with toxic masculinity. That is natural testosterone boosting activities. Natural masculinity. Toxic masculinity is having masculinity and having a lot of testosterone and going out there saying, I hate you, you're all a bunch of weak, pathetic idiots, like an arrogant fucker, and then start punching people randomly. That is toxic masculinity. Reason being, it's a lack of control of your emotions. Masculinity is having control of your emotions. When you go spar with your friends, you're not trying to knock him out, you're just trying to win. If he's doing quite well, maybe you'll put a little bit more on. And then if he realises you'll put more on, maybe you'll put more on. You ramp up the competition every round. But you still will refuse to go for the knockout. Time after time after time. Toxic masculinity is a lack of self-control. It's a lack of stoicism. What I'm telling you now is masculinity. And if you do not have that desire to win, that masculine desire to win, as a young man at least, then perhaps something's gone wrong. And there is a way to fix it. And it's very simply to force yourself into these uncomfortable situations. Force yourself to go into those football games in the streets and win. Force yourself to go and win at basketball. Force yourself to go fight with your friends. Brother, go wrestle with your friends. You don't need any equipment. You just start doing weird stuff. I'll give you another story. So, I was walking home one day from school with Jed. And we decided to just crash at my other friend's house. We'll call him Pan. We'll call him Pan, because I really don't know what to call him. And we went to Pan's house. And Jed and Pan just started wrestling. Right? Not in no weird way, like you kids think, oh, wrestling's just weird. No, they just started wrestling. And Pan got on top, and then it began to look weird, right? But apart from that, he won. He won that part, right? And then he tried to turn on me, and I just stood there like, oh, I'm faced. But we literally just showed up his house and started wrestling at Pan's house. That's what we did. And the thing is, that was only like a year ago, maybe a year and a bit ago. It was actually quite recently. And we'd go and do it again? Absolutely. So you lot who sit there and think you can't go wrestle, because it's not allowed, you shouldn't be violent. Perhaps you shouldn't be violent, but you should have that switch inside of you to allow yourself to become violent or become really, really calm in those scenarios, because the calmness the stoicism, right? The key of obviously having this masculine power. Guess what? If you have that, you're completely fine. Because you're not going to go knock them out. You're not going to make them pass out. You're just going to make them tap. When you feel the tap, you're like, yeah, flex on them. It's really easy. And all you've got to do is go out there and try. Call your friends, say, let's go have a fight. Yeah. And then you give it large to each other. You start pushing each other or something. You get that boost. And you win because you're stronger. You win because you're quicker. Whatever it is. Competition is the key. The whole lesson of this entire video, the main overarching lesson, the entire time, whether it be that desire, the passion, or just fighting in general, competition is the magical essence that you need as a young man. If you don't have any competition, you don't have any drive, you don't have any ambition, you don't have any reason to win. You want to win, but you don't even feel like you want to win. If you have competition, if the title race in football is neck and neck, you have competition, you want to keep on winning. If it's you're 20 points clear by January, you relax a bit. We've seen it in the Premier League a few years ago. Arsenal, 8 points clear and then choked. We've seen it a couple of other leagues as well. I don't know football too well, to be honest with you. But this is what happens when you have zero competition. You need competition. So, my number one advice to you brothers out there who do not have any competition is find a community of like-minded individuals who can, obviously, you can compete with and can inspire you to go up in the world. And also, more importantly than communities, because let's be honest, communities are great, but it's not real life connection. It's not face-to-face. Obviously, I have a community linked below, but don't worry about that too much. Face-to-face is so much better. If you can find one friend and just start wrestling and fighting with him, smacking each other or something, let him punch your arm to play dead arm and make him have a dead hand before you have a dead arm to show your strength and superiority. That'd be exceptional. So go find someone who you can really resonate with. You can just start punching, start throwing punches out, even if they're crappy, lazy punches. I don't know, I'm embarrassing myself here, but it doesn't matter. If there's something you can do, then that's all you've got. Type stuff, right? Then cool, go do that. And your friend will laugh at you, tell you to do this, and don't telegraph it so much. And have some actual fights, have some sparring sessions, have some wrestling. It doesn't matter what it is, just start fucking about. You fuck around, you find out. This is the main important thing it actually relates to. If you go fuck around and find out with porn, you're going to find out very fast how bad it is for your life. And now you can't leave. So this is the number one thing where fucking around and finding out is actually quite important. So make sure to find some competition, because otherwise you won't want to go anywhere. You have no competition, you just be like, doesn't matter, I'm winning. Like, you're running the race versus yourself. Pointless, brother. Pointless. Stupid stuff. So go find some competition. Do the hard work even when you don't feel like it. Stay strong out there. And I'll see you tomorrow.